Nobody really talks about this part of healing. Everyone celebrates growth, everyone celebrates transformation, but nobody warns you that sometimes healing can feel very lonely. And if you're not careful, you might start thinking something is wrong with you. But what if the loneliness isn't a sign you're failing? What if it's a sign you're actually changing? Welcome to Sass With Faith. And today we're talking about why healing can sometimes feel lonely. Here is what often starts to happen when healing begins. Something shifts inside you. Your tolerance changes. The things you once accepted, the things you once overlooked, the things you once stayed silent about, it starts to feel different. You start noticing things that you used to ignore. You start protecting your peace. You start setting boundaries. And suddenly, the environment that once felt normal doesn't feel normal anymore. Healing changes your tolerance level. So things you once accepted no longer feel peaceful. And that shift can create distance between you and people who are simply used to the old version of you. This is where the loneliness can start showing up. Here's the part people don't always say out loud. Some relationships were built around the version of you that was still hurting, the version of you that tolerated too much, the version of you that stayed quiet. The version of you that kept shrinking to keep the peace. But when healing begins, that version of you starts to disappear. And unfortunately, not everyone knows how to connect with the new you. Some people were comfortable with the version of you that was still hurting. So the distance you feel is it isn't always rejection. Sometimes it's just adjustment. Here's the part that can really mess with your mind. Sometimes when people start pulling away, you might start questioning yourself. Am I changing too much? Am I becoming difficult? Am I doing something wrong? But maybe the real question is something completely different. Maybe you're doing nothing wrong. Maybe you're just no longer willing to stay the same. And that's okay. Healing often creates a transition season. And transition seasons can feel very quiet because sometimes the people connected to your past just cannot walk with you into your future. That doesn't make them bad people. It just means the relationship was built around a version of you that no longer exists. Sometimes loneliness isn't punishment. Sometimes it's transition. And transition can feel uncomfortable, but it's also where growth happens. So if you're in that place right now, I want you to understand something. Lonely does not mean you're lost. Lonely does not mean you're doing it wrong. Sometimes lonely just means you're learning to stand in a new version of yourself. And the right people will eventually connect with that version. But first, you have to be willing to honor the healing. Healing may change your relationships. Healing may change your environment. Healing may even change how people see you. But one thing healing should never do is make you abandon the growth that's happening inside of you. Because sometimes the quiet season is just making space for something healthier to enter your life. And that space isn't emptiness, it's preparation. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt lonely during a season of growth? If you're comfortable, share your thoughts in the comments. This is Sass with Faith. Thank you for tuning in.